Today, I ate 23 gummy vitamins, and I got the brilliant idea to go buy an ostrich so I can recreate that scene from the movie Rango, where they ride the ostriches into the sunset. But then I was wondering to myself, are ostriches even legal? And I looked it up, and yeah, you can literally own an ostrich in California. So I started calling places, asking for ostriches.
How may I help you?
If I gave you a half-used Starbucks gift card, can I buy an emu with it?
No, you cannot.
Anyways, I finally found a place 3 hours away called Ostrich Land, and I went on a little road trip. Now, as I was traveling to Ostrich Land, I thought about all the pets I've had so far, such as my crusty-eyed white dog, the grocery store crab that I ended up releasing into the ocean, / accidentally sacrificing when the wave came and killed it, and my praying mantis that I fed cockroaches to every single night. Anyways, we finally arrived at Ostrich Land, and it turned out the ostriches are 7 feet tall! I thought ostriches were like chicken size! Crap, we're out of time on TikTok, but if you want to see me vlog my ostrich purchase, the link to the YouTube video is in my bio. Okay, I don't know if you've seen that trend where people are exploring their attics, but I've seen some spooky things, and I'm gonna try it, because I have this house that was built in the 1900s but got renovated. And also, I've noticed that my attic has a weird light coming from inside, but no switch to control it or anything. So, I grabbed a stool and I made it go as high as possible, because the attic was like 2 times my height, and then I climbed onto it, but it was really wobbly and I started getting scared. Anyways, when I finally managed to open up the attic door, I couldn't really see inside, so I felt around for a switch with my hand, and that's when I touched a book! I picked it up and then I jumped off the stool and ran downstairs to read it. And when I looked inside, it had a bunch of Chinese characters, I think, and maybe blood? I had to know what it meant, so I took it to Google Translate, and I tried my best to transcribe the Chinese characters, and I couldn't believe it. But it said, I ain't never seen 2 pretty best... Wait a minute! You thought I was gonna make a 2 pretty best friends joke? No! The joke is dead, and you just got caught slipping. Look in the mirror right now, clown. That's you, Pennywise. Anyways, this has been a Harvard University experiment. Thank you for your participation. I haven't been posting on TikTok because I got a stalker that's been DMing me saying he's gonna come to my house and that he knows my address. And I didn't know what to do, so I packed my bags and I ran away to Florida to try and hide. When I finally got there, I went to the pool to relax when I saw someone staring at me from a distance covered in like smoke or something. I was kind of scared, but I followed them out of the pool and I barely got out because I have no upper body strength. Anyways, I followed his footsteps to the beach and they led me to this fenced off area, but I went in anyways and I followed the trail of smoke coming from him, which brought me to this weird abandoned building which had a really strong smell of like skunk or something coming from it. I was still curious, so I stuck inside and it was completely dark. So I turned on my flash and there was Jacob Sartorius! I screamed out, what do you want from me? And that's when he asked if I wanted to do some lettuce with him. And you know what I said? Yes! And we made a delicious salad together, just me and Jacob Sartorius, 2 dudes tossing salad in the kitchen. So it is currently December, and the pandemic has gotten on my last nerve. So I bought a coronavirus vaccine off of Wish.com for only $20,000. And I had to wait 2 months for it to come, but then it finally arrived in this huge crate that I could barely lift up the stairs. But I opened up the box and I pulled the vial out. I wasn't sure how to take it, but I wasn't gonna use a needle because I am needleophobic. So I put some of it in my juice bottle and I drank it, and I was feeling pretty okay. And I went to go test it out by licking as many public surfaces as I could for an hour straight. Then as I was walking home, I started to feel a little dizzy. And when I finally got home, I double-checked the packaging, only to realize they had sent me a vial of Obama bathwater. And there was no vaccine. I took the vial and flushed it down the toilet, but then I remembered, you can't flush glass down the toilet. And then I heard a bang! And I ran outside to go see what it was. And all the pipes had exploded on my street, and there was doo-doo water everywhere. And I had caused a disaster. But the one good thing was, I saw Remy the Ratatouille floating on a piece of cheese. And I said, hi, Remy, as he sailed off into the drain. Okay, so I found some weird Tic Tac looking things in the bathroom that weren't mine. And I was pretty bored, so I ate them all. And I felt like I was in the show Euphoria.
Stranger.
But I thought they would be tropical fruit flavored, but they were very much not. And I started wondering what they actually are, and I looked in the drawer where I found them, and they were growth capsules? I was confused, but I got super excited because I want to be 8 feet tall and stomp on all the people that walk slow and just tower over everyone stomping on it. Oh wait, they're actually, foam animal pills that grow in water? I started freaking out because I can barely digest Taco Bell, so I don't think I can digest that. And I grabbed a bunch and put them in water to see what animal was growing inside me, and when I pulled the foam out and looked at the diagram, it was a horse! And you know what? I embraced it. I became my true calling of a horse boy, and I put on my 4 shoes on all 4 of my hoofs, and then I played every horse's favorite song right now. And I ran off into the world to start a new life. Okay, so I bought one of those things that lets you FaceTime your dog and shoot treats at them. But today I was looking at the camera and I noticed that she's been taking all her treats behind the couch for some reason. So I went to go see what she was doing with them, and she's been storing them so that she can pretend like I never gave her one in the first place, and then ask for more like the fat little bitch she is. And yes, I can call her that because bitch means female dog, and she is a female dog. Anyways, I had enough of her scamming me, so I decided to empty out the treat machine and fill it with her least favorite treat. Green beans, baby! I put a bean on the plate and cut it up into small little pieces, and then I loaded it into the machine, and I shot it out at her, and at first she didn't want to eat it, but then she got bored, and she ate them, and I was so happy because I thought I got her on a diet, until I heard a weird coughing noise come from downstairs. I ran downstairs to see what was happening, and that's when I saw her in my beanbag bed, next to the beans when she had thrown out. Oh, I got beans in my bed! So I was going through my local Taco Bell drive-thru when I saw some money had fallen out of a customer's car in front of me. So I pulled up to pick it up, and it was $200. And at first I was like, whoa, Canadian money actually does smell like maple syrup. But secondly, they probably need it. I should really leave it behind for them. Psych, bitch! I went to Michael's to spend $200 on crabs! Because last time I went to Michael's, I was like a toddler with like 3 Robux in my bank account. So I walked in and I decided to buy whatever looked cool. I found one of those kits where you break open the geodes, so I grabbed one of those, and then there was a bunch of fake fruit, and I saw they had fake bananas, so I bought a fake banana. But when I went to pay, the cashier found a bite mark on my banana and asked me if I still wanted the bitten banana, but I bought the bitten banana anyways. And then when I got home, I broke the box open because I don't own scissors. And look, it came with these fun goggles. Anyways, next I went to my garage to find a hammer, and then I put the geode on the ground and smacked it, and that baby blew open. And it looks kind of like a fruit gusher, so please let me know in the comments if I can eat these or not. Thank you, bye. Today, as I was driving, I saw the most precious old man dressed up as Santa, and he was standing on the street corner waving at cars as they went by. So I parked my car and I went up to him, and he was giving out free candy canes. I thought that was so nice, so I grabbed the whole basket because I was really hungry, and they were also free. And as I was running away from him, I heard him call me a ho-ho-ho or something. But anyways, I got into my car and I ate all the candy canes, and they were so delicious. But that's when I noticed that the basket said Salvation Army Donation Bin, and I was like, Army? I didn't know Sam Street is BTS. But then I saw there was a bunch of money at the bottom, and I started to tear up because not only did Santa give me free candy canes, but he also gave me free money. So guys, from now on, if you ever see one of these in public, that is a bucket of free money just for you. So make sure you grab it and run. So my dad loves mangoes, so for Christmas, I got him a single mango from Walmart as his Christmas present. But I couldn't just wrap it because it would be obvious that I got him a mango like everyone else does for Christmas. So I grabbed my wrapping paper and I wrapped it as something completely different, then I put it under the tree. But a few weeks had passed and it started to smell really bad, and when I checked it, the mango had molded. So I had to throw the whole freaking present out and wrap a brand new mango. But I had run out of wrapping paper, so I got in my car and I drove back to Walmart, and I found a tube of basic wrapping paper. And then I pretended it was a sword and I was swinging it around, but I accidentally killed a minion. Anyways, then I was bored in line, so I screamed into it like a horn and I said, Arby's, we have the meats. Anyways, I got home and I cut up the mango. I grabbed a random DVD case and I put all the mango slices in it, but my dad's cat tried eating it. Ugh. And then I wrapped the Lego Star Wars for Xbox 360 disc case and put it under the tree. And when I woke up this morning on Christmas, I gave it to him. What? Today, I was in the drive-thru line at Starbucks trying to get the Donald Trump drink, which is just a cup that's full of sad old man tears. But as I pulled up, I was feeling generous, and I told the barista, can I pay for the order in front of me? And the Starbucks employee said,
that's so sweet. Let me bring that up for you. Would you like anything else?
So I said, can I get a cake pop and a white hot chocolate? But that's when the barista said,
that comes up to $94.24.
I stopped and said, what in the star did you say? And the barista told me they ordered 7 drinks, 4 pastries, and a travel mug. So I told the barista, hey, I'm actually just gonna get the cake pop. But the person ahead of me had already driven away, and they told me I had to pay or the cops would be called. So I pulled up and paid, but I wasn't gonna stop until I got my travel mug. I followed the car until it parked, and I approached the window, and I said, give me the mug! Anyways, look at my $94 Starbucks travel mug that I had to pry out of a soccer mom's hands. So, I lost my debit card for the 5th time this year, and the bank won't give me a new one, so I went to Foot Locker today to sell my feet pics, because I'm completely broke, and after looking everywhere and asking an employee, I could not find the locker full of feet pics, and I thought, this place is such a scam. Why would it be called Foot Locker if there's no locker where people can buy feet pics? That's when I had the realization I can make my own Foot Locker and sell my feet pics on the side of the road. I started by holding up an iPad with some samples, but people kept driving by and no one bought any. But you know what they say, baby? Work smarter, not harder. So when I got home, I started making a sign that said feet pictures $3. So I painted it real nice, and then I hit the streets again. And when I got to a busy street, I taped the iPad to it with a Google slideshow playing of my feet. And I waved it around a bit more, but even that wasn't working. So I had to do what I never thought I'd do. I seductively took my shoe off and then lowered the sock off my foot. And then I started waving at people driving by with my feet. But it was too much. I ran home and felt so dirty and unwanted because no one wanted my little piggy. So TikTok sent me a skateboard and I decided to ride it down my stairs so I could see a Juice WRLD concert. And you're probably wondering, how did I get one? And it's cause I used my Russian hacking skills to make me the most followed person by changing my follow count from 6.7 M to a B. M to the B, M to the B, M. Anyways, what the frick, it didn't come with wheels. And I was like, what the heck? I was supposed to hang it on my wall. But I have trauma from last week when my stop sign fell off my wall and almost chopped me up into cooked sashimi. So I decided maybe I can ride it down the stairs, but I don't want to meet Michael Jackson. Wait, never mind, Michael Jackson's in hell. So I put on my frog costume from Halloween, but not only is it a frog costume, it's an inflatable frog costume. So I started at the top of my stairs and I slowly nudged myself forward until I rode it down and... So anyways, now the board is snapped in half, but I got this cool new bruise, so if anyone could give it a fun name, that would be greatly appreciated. Today, I hiked up to the Hollywood sign, but there was a fence blocking access to it, so I committed a little bit of a crime. And I managed to get through, and I changed the sign to Holly Boob by covering the W with a B for boob. Anyways, I was walking down, and I saw helicopters flying overhead, and I was getting kind of nervous. So I ran into the bushes, and I hid from them, because apparently I was on government property, or whatever that means. Anyways, I got an emergency alert on my phone, and when I checked, it said that there was a $2 million bounty for a 6-foot man in green. So I realized I'll have to live off the grid forever in these bushes, with my only food being Lady Gaga Oreos that I brought as a snack. Anyways, I managed to sneak away to a swamp, but I heard the choppers getting closer. But that's when I looked in the distance and saw none other than a 6-foot man in green in the swamp. I had to act fast, so I grabbed my phone and I dialed 911 and I ratted on Shrek. Anyways, Shrek was arrested and charged with 8 felonies and I got a $2 million reward. So now I'm rich and I bought a mansion. Thanks, Shrek. Today I pretended to be in the hospital to get my celebrity crush to notice me. And here's how I did it. First I was editing my name onto a hospital band and one of the rows said sex. So I said yes, winky face. And then I walked over to my printer that I haven't used in years and I thought it was gonna light on fire and somehow that old mama worked and it printed out my band. So I cut it out and put it on my wrist.
Drip, my drip, yeah.
And then I tore my bed apart and I ripped the bed sheet off my bed to wear as a little hospital robe. Then once I had that, I pulled my bed off and dragged it over to a blank wall. Anyways, then I made my room look like a hospital by taping hospital signage. And then I laid down in my hospital bed and I made the finishing touches with a phone charger and then I put some headphones in my nose to really pull it all together. Then I finally took my Snapchat and I added a black and white filter to be all dramatic. And I made the caption, "Down bad, wish I had a big booty bee to give me CPR." And I sent it to her. Then I ripped all the cords out and the bracelet too and I put my shirt back on. And I was waiting around when she finally replied. And when I opened it, she said, "Last night I went to Chuck E. Cheese to lie and say it's my birthday to get free pizza. And it worked, baby! But the place was terrifying and the food was even scarier. And after a few bites, I started feeling sick like I had worms in my stomach. So I got up and I stumbled out of the restaurant and I went home. Then the next day, I scheduled an emergency Zoom doctor's visit and he told me that I'm lactose intolerant. And I was like, what the hell? I don't lactose, I got all 10, baby. But then he told me to put my feet away and I was like, you're right, you should be paying me for this, not the other way around, buddy. And then he started telling me you can't eat pizza anymore. But his video started to cut out, but it's okay, because I know what lactose intolerance is. I can't have bread anymore! So I got rid of all my bread and dumped all of that fart food right in the trash. And then I grabbed some milk and chugged nothing but pure milk for a few days. And you know what? It was really good for a bit until I started feeling a storm brewing 10 times stronger than what Chuck E. Cheese did to me. So I immediately ran to the bathroom and... So apparently lactose intolerance is the milk one, but at least I don't lactose, baby! Today I went to go get the Moderna vaccine, and it hurt a little bit when they gave it to me, but afterwards I went home and I took the band-aid off. But as I was peeling it off, I noticed something hard was underneath. And when I pulled it out and looked at it, I saw a microchip. I'd been microchipped. I thought that was fake. But I had to get to the bottom of this. So I grabbed a microchip adapter and put it in my phone, and a folder came up saying, "We see you." And in it was a picture that said, "Meet Candace at 42 Wallaby Way at 2 p.m. And I was really scared, but the next day I went to the address on my bike, and it ended up taking me to this huge building, and I found my way in. But as I was looking around, there was no one there, so I shouted, "Candace! Who's Candace?" But all of a sudden, the lights went out, and I felt something grab me. Next thing I knew, I woke up in a chair tied up. I was so confused, and I shouted, "Who is Candace? What is Candace?" Then, out of the darkness, he appeared, and he said,
Candace
I was enjoying some olives and yogurt when a piece of paper slipped through my mail slot. And when I went to go check it, a huge box flew through the slot and hit me in the head. That's when I remembered I ordered this game called Incoherent from Amazon at like 2 a.m. But nevertheless, I was so excited to play it. But I realized I don't have any friends around me to play with. So I decided to call some of my besties instead. I dialed the number and I was like, hey bestie, and they said, this is
Taco Bell?
So I was like, okay, first round, neck key Minaj.
Please don't call this number again.
And I said, no silly, it's Nicki Minaj. What about pressed feet 10?
Yeah, we're taking your phone number to the police.
And I was like, no, it's breastfeeding, duh. The police are really coming home. I've been waiting for a year, but today I finally got a PS5. Anyways, today I bought a PS5 off of this sketchy guy online because I really wanted one, but they're sold out everywhere. So I messaged him and asked how much money he wants for it, and he replied saying he accepts payment in other forms, and I was like, he must mean Bitcoin. So I went upstairs and grabbed my mom's credit card and bought 200 Bitcoins, which apparently was a lot of real world money, but whatever, because I needed that PlayStation. So I went outside and hopped in my car and drove over to the address he gave me, and when I was pulling up, I got really scared because the address was a hut made out of sticks in the middle of the forest. And as I got closer, I saw the PS5 on the ground, so I went over to grab it. But that's when I heard a voice say,
hey there, wanna show me your toes?
So I grabbed the box and ran to my car and just barely escaped with my life and my PS5. And when I finally got home, I couldn't wait to open it just to see that this man didn't sell me any PS5. He sold me a Printer Station 5. Today I went to the fair so I could try and go on that tilt-a-whirl ride that was about to collapse in this TikTok that I saw. But when we were standing in line for it, I noticed some sparks fly as it flew by, and a literal screw had been sharded out. And I was like, well, the Juice WRLD concert's gonna be really good after this. Anyways, we got on and found our seats and put the thing on, and I don't know what they did, but they had cranked that speed up to the max. And you know what? It surprisingly didn't fall apart, but instead I just passed out like a little infant that can't stay awake. Anyways, I got off and was feeling kind of hungry, and I saw the cotton candy booth, so I went over to it, and they gave some to us for free because they were so nice. And I was enjoying my cotton candy when my friends dragged me onto this swingy thingy. So I reluctantly gave the dude my ticket and found my seat. And once it started moving, I realized that cotton candy and motion sickness is a terrible mix. They were swinging our butts around this thing like no tomorrow, baby. Because I threw up. And it sprayed on a worker. And I'm never allowed back. Hey, guess what? Today is Miss Corona's first birthday. On November 17th, 2019, the very first dude went and now 55 million people have gone and everything sucks now. Anyways, I was throwing a little party for COVID because I feel like no one else appreciates her, so I invited her over by going to the local COVID testing location, sneaking into the employees only area, and licking all of the testing swabs. But when I left, an employee yelled at me. Anyways, when I got home, all of a sudden I felt a little ill, and boom, she was at the party. I had bought some Taco Bell for the party, ordered $1,000 worth of slime to play with, and just when Miss Corona thought she was about to open her birthday present, she realized the present was hand sanitizer, and I grabbed the virus in a chokehold and poured the sanitizer all over the coronavirus and beat it with a mask for canceling everything that I was looking forward to, and worse. Anyways, once again, please wear a mask, not just because of corona, but also because some of y'all have musty, dusty breath. Thanks. This morning, I woke up to see that the internet was trying to cancel the D'Amelios for not eating snails. Stop! Y'all are telling me you've never been overdramatic when your parents cooked food you didn't like? So you made a fuss about it? Yeah, I know you did. Snails are disgusting, just to be clear. I wouldn't care if Gordon Ramsay cooked me an entire dish with snails, because if I bit into a snail thinking it was a mushroom, I would spit it out too. Also, if you're a grown adult trying to cancel them, just pack it up and admit that you're jealous that 2 teenagers have accomplished more in a year than you have in your whole career. Anyways, after getting severe brain damage from seeing people reach so far they dislocated their arms, I went back to sleep. And in my dream, I was walking around an empty abandoned street in the dark when I saw a giant snail, and it started screaming, "Eat me, eat me!" And I ran into the nearest house and closed the garage door, and just when I thought I was safe, I felt something slimy on my arm, and I heard a voice say,
It's time for you to escort. Go!